Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look into something advanced and thrilling, a Python ransomware simulation. So we're going to simulate how ransomware encrypts files just like hackers would do in real attack. But don't worry guys, this is completely safe and strictly for educational purposes. Before we dive in, let me be crystal clear. This video is for educational purposes only. The ransomware simulation we're about to create will demonstrate the mechanics behind ransomware attacks, but it won't cause any real harm. Use this information only to understand and secure your systems. Misuse of these techniques and technologies can have serious legal consequences, so I cannot stress this enough. Stay ethical, stay educational, stay responsible. So now we've got that out of the way, let's talk about how ransomware actually works. Ransomware is a type of malware that encrypts the victim's files, rendering them unusable until ransom is paid, usually in cryptocurrency. The hacker then promises to provide a decryption key. But as you might imagine, relying on criminals to return your data is risky and not recommended. We're going to simulate this by using Python to create a program that encrypts files in a target directory, simulating what ransomware would do. But we'll also add decryption functionality so you can recover the files during the tutorial. The idea is to help you understand how this process works in a safe and controlled environment so that you know what you're dealing with if you ever encounter real ransomware attacks. Also, at the end of the video, I'll explain to you guys some precautionary steps to take so that if this attack happens to you, you don't have to pay any money and you have all your files and everything. So let's jump into the code. So first, I want you guys to download Python. So that'll be the first link in the description or the link on screen. Then I also want you to download Visual Studio Code as the code editor I use. You can also use PyCharm since we're using Python. I prefer Visual Studio Code myself. That's the second link in the description or this link on the screen. And let's jump into the code. So we're going to be using the cryptography library to handle encryption and decryption. So first we need to generate a key that will be used for both encryption and decryption. This key is essential. Without it, the files cannot be decrypted. And we'll store this key in a file called ransom.key.key. Next, we're going to create functions to encrypt and decrypt the files. These functions will read the file's data, encrypt it using the key, and then write the encrypted data back to the file. And then finally, we'll scan a directory and encrypt all the files inside of it, simulating a real ransomware attack. But for demonstration purposes, I'll also show you guys how to decrypt the files once they're encrypted. So let's get started. So first, what we want to do is we want to use the library cryptography. So we're going to do from cryptography dot fornet import fornet. Alrighty, that's correct. Then over here we're just also going to import OS, and then first thing we need to do is generate a key for encryption and decryption. Okay, and then we're going to define. Make this bigger for you guys so you guys can see. Then we're going to define our function, and we're going to call it generate key. I'm going to close parentheses. And then we're going to set the variable key equal to fornet.generate key. Generate key. Okay. And then all this does over here is it creates a unique key. It creates a unique encryption key. Right? So, a unique encryption key. Alrighty. So with open, right? And then we're gonna the file name. We said we're gonna do it like ransom key or whatever. So let's call it ransom underscore key.key, something like that. All right. You could name it whatever you want. And then WB. And then as key file. So as key file. And then what this does is this stores a key in this file. So this is storing the key in a file. Righty. So and then under here, what we're gonna do is we're going to then just do key file, open close parentheses, and wait, sorry, write, open close parentheses, and then key. And it's passing in that variable over there. Right, and that generates the key. This thing right here. Okay. So next, what we want to do is we want to then load the encryption key from file, right? From file. So we're gonna do another function called load key, right? I feel like it's a good name. Open close parentheses, colon, return, and then open, and then same file name that whatever you put. I put ransom. I'll just copy paste this. Ransom key.key. All right, and then rd, and then .read. All right. Okay. And then what this is doing, this is actually reading the key from the file. So let's say reading the key from the file. So guys, I would recommend putting comments in your code. This is just so that other people, when they're looking at it, they can understand it. And also when you look back at it and, like, let's say there's something wrong and you want to understand what you did wrong, you can look back at it and instantly know what each thing does without having to analyze the code itself. So you can get to the part you need to quickly. So then what we're going to do is we're then going to go ahead and do the encrypting file, encrypt the file function. So we're going to do encrypt, we'll call it encrypt file, and then we'll pass in file path and key. Alrighty, and then over here we're going to have fornet equals fornet, and then pass in key, right? And then what this does is this initializes the encryption method with the key. So the encryption method with the key. Alrighty. Then what we want to do is we want to do with open close parentheses, file path, and then comma RB, and then as file. Alright. So as file, and then up in here we're just going to do file data. This is our variable, and we're going to make it set to file.read. Alright, and then this just reads the file data. So reading file data. Alright. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do encrypted data, just make a new variable, encrypted data, is equal to fornet dot encrypt, and then file data. Okay, and then this just encrypts the data. So encrypting the data. Alrighty. Then what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna do with open, and then file path, comma WB, and then as file. Right, it's very simple. And then file.write, and then encrypted data. And then what this is doing, this is just writing, writing the encrypted data back to the log file. So writing the encrypted data back to the file. Alrighty. And then at the end, we're just gonna print, saying like it worked basically. Say F, and then file pass. So we're gonna pass in something with curly brackets, a variable with curly brackets. So file path, file path, like that, has been encrypted. Okay. And let's just actually put saying it worked. So we're gonna put plus right there. Alrighty, and then this is just logging the success. So log success, right? Next, what we want to do is let's just separate everything a little bit more so we have more room. Alrighty, so you can take a look at the code. And alrighty, so next what we're gonna do is we're gonna create the function to decrypt everything. This is very important because you don't want to lose the files, right? Most hackers will do this if they're decent people, along with criminals, when they're doing ransomware attacks. So that they can also decrypt the files after they encrypted your files. So demonstration. So this is a demonstration purposes, right? But this won't always be provided or anything. You can't decrypt it yourself. And then decrypt file, and then we're passing file path and the key to decrypt it. All right. So then what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna do fornet is equal to, and then just fornet key, and then what this does is this initializes the decryption method with the key that we passed in right over there. So initialize the decryption method with the key. Alrighty, and then we're gonna do with open, and then file path. So file path, comma RB, and then as file. Alrighty. And then in here, what we're going to do is we're going to do encrypted data. So encrypted data, right, is equal to file.read. So file.read, close parentheses, and then this is reading the encrypted data. So reading the encrypted data. Alrighty. Then outside of that, we're gonna go to decrypted data. So decrypted data is equal to fornet.decrypt, and then encrypted data. So encrypted data right in there. Alrighty, and then this is just decrypting the data right here. Decrypting the data. Alright, and then over here, we're then going to do with open, and then file path again, and then comma WB as file, and then file.write, and then it's just going to write to it the decrypted data, right? And this is just writing the decrypted data back to the file, like I said. So writing the decrypted data back to the file. Alright, and then we're just going to print like a message saying like, it's been decrypted. So let's just do F, and then we'll say this is a good thing. It's been decrypted. And then file path has been decrypted. Alright, this is a very basic simulation, but it helps you guys understand like how it works, so you guys can, protect yourselves against it. Alright, so then right over there, that's good. Then next thing we want to do is we want to encrypt files in a directory. Okay, so encrypt files in a directory. And then we're gonna create the function define encrypt files in directory. That's gonna be our function name. Very long, but it's worth it because it makes sense. And then directory, comma key. All right. That's the two things we're gonna pass in, and then we're gonna do for root. There's files in os.walk, and then directory. Okay. So what this does is this scans through the directory. So this is scanning through the directory. Alrighty. Then inside here, we're just going to do for file in files, and then file path is equal to, set this equal to os.path.join, and then root comma file. And then encrypt file path, comma key, and then that is encrypting each file found. Alrighty. Then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna create the main function now. So main function, very simple. Oops, it needs to be capital. Main function, and then we're gonna just define, we'll call it main, I guess. It's very simple. And then target directory. So target directory is equal to, and then we'll call it like testing folder. Alright, testing folder. And then you can, if you have a different directory, you can just replace with your own target directory. So I'll write that. 3. And before we continue, make sure you guys like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos. It really helps for the channel, and it just helps a lot. And if you guys have any other recommendations, comments, or questions or concerns, you can ask that in the comment section down below. Alright, so let's continue. So now we're gonna generate encryption key if it does not exist, and then if not, os.path path.exists. Then we're gonna put in the file name, which should be right here. Righty. Then we're going to do generate key and print, and then we're gonna say encryption key generated, something like that. Generated. Okay. and then let's just say like this information thing. So we'll just put like a star over there. All right. Then outside of that, we're then going to do key is equal to load key, and then load the generated key. All right. Then what we need to do is we're almost done, I think, right? So then what we need to do is we need to then go ahead and print out, the key is loaded and it's encrypting the files. So key loaded, encrypting files, ... All right. Let's just say it's information, so we'll put a star right there. Then we're gonna go ahead and encrypt the files in the target directory. So then that's when we're gonna use our function over here, this one over here. So we'll just copy that. But we're going to be encrypt files in the target directory. All right. And then we're just gonna paste that, files in directory, and then target directory, comma key. Two variables we're passing in. And then right in there, we're just gonna do decrypt the files for demonstration purposes. All right. And then we're gonna print, we're gonna say it's working basically. I'll say information thing right there. And then we're going to say decrypting files for demonstration purposes. All right. ... Alrighty. And then for root, there's files in os.walk, and then target directory. And then in there, we're just going to do for files and files, as we did before. Could just copy paste it, but let's do that. Yeah, probably it's a better idea. Files and files, just copy paste this. Alright, and then all we're doing is just doing decrypt file path key, and then this is decrypting the files, and then this is right, I think. Yeah, right, there we go. Then what we're going to do is we're then going to go ahead and lastly just do if underscore name underscore is equal to underscore main underscore then main, boom. So this is just asking basically, is it equal to this, if this variable over here is equal to this, right? So let's just break everything down real quick. So the first step is we're generating the key, right? That's right up here. I might need to actually install this with pip. I'm not sure. Do we have to? I think so. Yeah, so make sure you install it with pip because I forgot that you have to. All right. So first thing that we're doing is we're generating the key. That's this area right here. Then we're encrypting the files right there. And then we're this is the thing that scans for the files. Oh no, this encrypts the files, this right here. And then we're also scanning for files. This is to decrypt it and everything like that. So that's what it is. So now we're just going to create the testing folder. Call it testing folder. And then we're just gonna put a few files in there. So my passwords.txt, pass1, pass2, pass3. All right, and then we'll add one more, and we'll call it social security.txt or something like that. I don't know. And then my social security 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. All right, put random stuff there. Alrighty. So then we're gonna run this. We're gonna do CLS in the terminal. Oh, I just made a mistake just right over here. It should not be dot file. It should be comma file. That's the mistake. So let's just run that again. Make sure you guys fix that. That should have been in line 43. All right, go. See, just forgot the S over there. So that should be in line 64. Alrighty. So now it. Oh yeah, and I made the same mistake on line 66. It should be comma file. Alrighty. So that should work. Sorry about that. I'm typing very fast. So my social, and then my passes. So we'll just rerun this, real quick. Boom. Ransom key. And it was encrypted and unencrypted. And just to show you that it does indeed work, we're going to not decrypt it. So we're going to comment all that out. Alright, we'll rerun it. Move this key. Rerun it. And then it's been encrypted. Right there. And then if we were to de-encrypt it, you would have that. So that's it for today's video, guys. That's about it. It's a very basic Python ransomware simulation. While this was a safe example, real ransomware is extremely dangerous and can be devastating. Make sure you guys always back up your files. Have it on like another hard drive. Just have all your files there, update it every week or something, so that you have all your stuff, and keep your systems protected with strong security measures. I personally use VPN a lot of the time, and I have multiple antiviruses downloaded. And also remember, this tutorial was strictly for educational purposes to teach you how these attacks work and how to defend yourself against them. So stay ethical, use your knowledge responsibly, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more ethical hacking tutorials. Until next time, stay safe out there, guys. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed my video. Comment anything down below, questions, comments, or concerns, or anything you guys want to see later. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.